All right. We are putting the word out that all you fascists bound to lose. That's the theme song for MidPoint Wednesday. This is our fundraising drive show, and I am here with my good friend and super supporter, Gary Gibbons. Thanks for being with us, Gary.
I am so happy to be here this morning. This is my favorite show on WMNF, bar none.
Oh, thank you.
You know, what you do every week is you can't find anywhere else. Really, 55 minutes to do a deep dive into a subject, and the guests you get are amazing. Shelley, hats
so
off to you, and I am thrilled, and I can't wait for the phones to really ring this morning because we have to raise a lot of money.
We
in a
do.
Short period
We
of
have
time.
to raise a lot of money. And, you know, I keep saying this, and I know if you're within the sound of my voice, my friends, that you know it too. But there has never been a more critical and important time to support independent public media. You know, for 45 years, WMNF has been a platform for community voices. You know, we're here 24/7, 365 to inspire you and empower you and bring you the true facts, you know, of what is happening in your world locally and out beyond our little world of the Tampa Bay region. You know, we get emails, we get phone calls, texts, we get messages, and we know that you are with us. We know that you feel as we feel, that we are not un-American, like, you know, the government is threatening to defund public media. Because they accuse us of being un-American. We are the most American of media. We are local. We are supported by you, by our listeners, and we thank each and every one of you for that support. We literally could not be here without you. And that's why it's so important that you step up and give us a call today for our fund drive to keep us on the air and keep us bringing you this kind of programming, the kind of programming that says every day, all you fascists bound to lose. We are here, we are staying here, and we are going to resist. So give us a call at 813-239-9663 and make a donation, you know, really dig deep because we need it, you know, and you need us. We need you and you need us.
Shelley, I'm going to get us started right off the bat. I'm going to pledge $500 today.
God bless you,
and
man.
I am going to make it a challenge pledge for people that pledge $100 to match what I've done.
All right, we need $500 pledges to match Gary. Gary, thank you so much. What a great kickoff for us.
Well, it's so important, we are under attack, and we all have to step up. We can't do what we've normally done in the past. We have to do more.
We have
to. So that's what I decided to do this morning when I woke up. I said, you know, it's time to fight back and resist, and there's no place that you can do that like you can at WMNF. We speak the truth.
Right.
We speak the truth to power, and, you know, nobody tells us what to play or what to say. And
that's right. No one has ever told me what to say on this show, other than I can't say vote for this or that candidate. I can't use the 7 dirty words.
Right.
And I can't call for violence. Those are pretty much
as much as you'd like to.
As much as I'd like to. Those are the only restrictions I've ever been given by WMNF, and I'm grateful for their indulgence of what I do say. But you know, we are facing a situation here where the President of the United States has singled out public media, and the chair of the FCC. You know, they're talking about what Project 2025 says, and they're saying that they want to take away funding from public media. That's us. You know, their goal is to silence all these community voices that I bring on the show to talk to you about important issues like voting and why it's getting harder and harder to vote and harder to participate in our democracy. They are making it harder for us. Those are the kinds of things I feel we should resist. And if you don't know about them, you can't resist them. So that's why we bring them on the show and why I think it's so important. And I hope you do too. So give us a call at 813-239-9663, or you can go online to WMNF.org and make a donation now. If you make a $100 donation, if I get 5 of those, I can meet Gary's match, and you will be doing a great service for yourself, for your future, your kids' future, for the community, because this is the place where resistance lives. This is the place. And, you can see it on our swag that we're offering.
Got some awesome swag.
Yeah, we have. I have to say, I've been doing these fund drives for many years now, but I have to say the swag that is on offer as a thank you gift for your donation in this particular fund drive is some of the best swag I've ever seen. The messages on the T-shirts and the bumper stickers and the stickers are fabulous. For example, we've got this beautiful artist T-shirt for $100 pledge that says, let's see.
It says independent radio, live, local.
On the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah,
it doesn't say on the Gulf of America. It says on the Gulf of Mexico. You listen, people, you got to stay salty and resist.
And you got to be historically accurate.
Right. And you wear a shirt that says on the Gulf of Mexico, and people will find you. Your people will find you, and you will find them, because they see that message and they know that we are one. We are one and the same, I mean, this is a beautiful artist shirt. It's the most gorgeous color. It's like this kind of
sort of a teal.
Yeah, teal, but it's not
muted,
like a muted teal color. It's really beautiful. And it's got printing on the back too. It says "Zero Silence, Just Waves."
The logo has the WMNF logo, and then breaking waves underneath it, which I think is so
and you know
cool.
what? You can see all this swag by going to WMNF.org. You can see it all. You can see what the thank you gift pricing is, and you can make your choice. But I have to say, it's some of the best swag I've seen in all my years of doing these fund drives. So it's got a beach theme. Let's say that.
Yeah.
It's a beach theme. It's summer's coming. If you're planning on going to the beach at all this summer, take a look at WMNF.org. Take a look at that swag, and make a choice and join us as a listener contributor and a member of WMNF, and be part of this wonderful community.
Yeah, that cool new artist T-shirt is a $100 pledge. And then also for a $120 pledge, there's a WMNF cooler backpack.
Oh, yeah, that's really cool. I had a chance to look at that in the flesh, in real life, IRL, as the kids say. It's really cool. It's like you put, it holds your cans or whatever that you're of adult beverages you may be taking to the beach.
And it has those mesh
pockets on the side for your water bottle.
Bottles.
Hopefully your steel water bottle, not plastic. And you could put some snacks in there, some hummus and veggies, to be healthy, and it'll stay cool. It's a very, very cool cooler backpack that you can take to the beach with you. We've also got a beach sand mat where you lay it out and you fill the little corners with sand so it doesn't blow away, and there you go. It's pretty large too, for your day at the beach.
Or if you're a kayaker like I am, or a paddleboard person, there is a dry bag that will hold all of your goodies and keep them from getting wet. Including your cell phone. It's wonderful, and that's a $65 pledge. It's a wonderful gift.
Wow, that's pretty cheap. I mean, I think for a dry bag, I don't know, but it's got this cool see-through pocket too for your phone that you can put your phone in. It stays dry, but you can still use the buttons on your phone. With the beach, so your phone doesn't get filled with sand. That's a really cool item there. So go to WMNF.org, take a look at the swag that we have, and please make a donation. We're looking for 5 donations of $100 to meet Gary's pledge challenge.
Let's go. We got to get some calls.
We
There
do.
are no phones lit up right now.
No phones lit up. How can that be for MidPoint Wednesday? How can that be? Listen, I hate the silence. And we are in a situation now here at public radio, public media, where they are trying to silence us. They are trying to silence us, and we can't let that happen. How much would it cost for them to purchase your silence? Because not donating to us is that price. It's really what it is. That's the question. WMNF isn't going to stop speaking truth to power unless you stop supporting us.
Right.
That's really where we're at. It's
we're fighting fascism one pledge at a time. It doesn't matter the amount, just like we've always done it for 46 years almost.
Yeah. We need to stick together, and we need to know that you support us. We need to know that because, we're all volunteers here. Gary's a volunteer. I'm a volunteer. We don't get paid. We do this because we know how important it is to keep a strong community together. Because without a strong community where we take care of each other and we listen to each other, we're never going to get over this fascism that we are facing right now. And that's why community radio is so important. And we urge you to step up and join our community. If you're already in our community, thank you so much. Just dig a little deeper. Maybe you can do a Circle of Friends pledge this time. For as little as $5 or $10 a month, you can be a member of our Circle of Friends, and you get special ticket opportunities. You get special swag that's available. We have a fantastic Circle of Friends t-shirt that you can wear with pride and show your support for WMNF to the rest of the community. We can give you that t-shirt for your Circle of Friends pledge, and you get special newsletters and special, all kinds of special little perks for being a Circle of Friends member.
And it's the one thing when I see it come across on my credit card statement every month that I feel good about. It's the only thing I feel
on
good
your
about.
credit card.
Sometimes I go, that meal wasn't very good. I can't believe that. But I always feel great about giving to WMNF. It's just painless to do it that way.
It's like, really, if you have a subscription to Spotify or Netflix or any of those kinds of entertainment things, think about us, because not only do we offer you entertainment, but we offer you news and public affairs informational programming. We offer Democracy Now. We keep you informed and we keep you entertained. And we hope that you value our subscription as much as you value those. And so we really urge you to think about joining our Circle of Friends. You could put it on your credit card. Like Gary says, it's painless. It shows up every month. It's something that you select within your budget. But honestly, it helps us budget for the future. If we know that we have these recurring donations every month, it helps the station budget. We have a very small paid staff. We have a very large electric bill to keep us on the air. We have this beautiful building that your generous donations paid for over the years, this gorgeous 10,000 square foot building here on MLK in Tampa. I urge you to come visit us sometime when we have an open house and see what you have gifted the community. So we have a lot of expenses, even though most of our programmers, all of our programmers really are volunteers. So we still have a lot of expenses and we need you. So please give us a call at 813-239-9663. or make a donation at WMNF.org, and I will thank you on the air. In fact, I have some thank yous to tell you about right now. I have Bill Mutsat. I hope I pronounced that right. I apologize for mangling your last name. Bill Mutsatsos from Tampa made a generous donation of $20, and we really appreciate every member who joins us here on MidPoint. Jack Crochetto from Land O'Lakes out in Pasco County. Isn't that Pasco County? Yeah?
Yeah.
Has made a generous donation of $35 to MidPoint. Thank you, Jack. Jack is a really good listener and a good friend from Facebook for me. Mary McDonald has made a very generous pledge of $108.
Nice.
So she's helping us meet Gary's $500 pledge challenge. She has some comments here. She says, "Thank you for all you do. It's so important, and our community is much better for it. Keep up the good work." Well, thank you, Mary. We appreciate hearing from you, and we certainly appreciate that pat on the back, because we are trying our best here to keep going at MidPoint Wednesday. We have Christopher Davis, who made a generous donation of $25 while he is volunteering in the back room, taking pledges. How cool is that? Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much for your donation and for your help and your volunteering back there to help us during this fund drive. Our volunteers are literally the lifeblood of this station. We are run on volunteer power. So you know that when you make a donation to WMNF, our what is that charity navigator thing is like off the charts, because we are volunteer powered. We are not wasting your money on administrative costs or advertising or things like that.
That's right.
We are absolutely using your donations to the very best that we can to make sure that the station stays on the air. That's pretty much it. There's no fluff here,
and the volunteers really embrace what they do at this station. You, for example, Shelley, the amount of work and research that it takes for you to dive into a subject matter, get great guests, and prep for those shows. It comes off like it's a walk in the park. I know how hard it is because I've guest hosted a couple of times, and it's a lot of work. And you do that week after week after week, and it's something you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, I don't think so. I really don't. I haven't found it. So that's why I do it, because I wanted it. I wanted this kind of show. I wanted to turn on the radio or go online, and I wanted to hear somebody with my viewpoint, or somebody who was keeping me up to date, somebody who was telling me that I wasn't alone out there in what I was thinking about the political atmosphere that we were living in, about our politicians, about our social justice movements, about, people in challenged communities. I wanted to hear that viewpoint. Yeah. And as a person with a lot of opinions, I'm so grateful for WMNF for giving me a place to put them.
But that 5 minutes or so at the beginning of each show where you kind of recap the things that have happened
my
during
news
the last
nuggets
week,
of the week.
It's information that is becoming harder and harder to get from reliable sources.
Yeah.
And that's a public service that really, I love that every week. And it makes me say, oh, yeah, I better go read about that particular issue. So
we do a little news nugget, thing every show for the first 5 to 7 minutes of the show. We bring you the news that speaks to me, at least that week, in little bite-sized pieces so that you can be aware of it. And like you said, go out and do some more research if it's something that moves you, something that interests you.
Well, it can be overwhelming with, the national news and international news that we're getting. And so sometimes the way to attack that problem is to get involved with things locally.
Yes.
Because those are the things that most affect our lives and the things that we can do the most to impact. And so I love the fact that your show delves into local issues and local people and local political races.
Yeah,
and
getting
things that are
local
happening
news is
here
harder and harder.
Locally and then statewide, too.
Yeah.
It's so hard to find good information, reliable information about statewide issues.
Yeah, nobody knows what the legislature is doing, like how the sausage is made or why the sausage is made or who's making that sausage. Nobody knows unless we tell them, you know. The statewide stuff doesn't get a lot of coverage. Local news, sadly, has really been decimated, you know, with the stripping out of a lot of the staff of the Tampa Bay Times, our regional newspaper, for example.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I do feel a big responsibility to bring local information to the people. I try to keep it Florida focused, local focused, because, you know, that's the advantage of having a radio station like WMNF. We are live, local, and independent, you know, and we are unique. We are one of very few stations like this that are volunteer powered, that are truly independent. We have no corporate overloads. We are not controlled by a university, and we are, you know, truly independent. We are supported by you, and we hope that you will continue to support us. So give us a call at 813-239-9663 or go online to WMNF.org. Make a generous donation. Look at the swag. We have so many nice thank you gifts for you because we really appreciate you. Okay, let me give out some of these thank yous here that I have. I told you about Chris, who's here working the phones in the back. He said, I'm a volunteer, and I'm so grateful for WMNF. It's so much fun to be here and helping out. So that's another thing. You can be a volunteer with the station. You can come. You can meet us all. You can, you know, join in on a fun drive. We would love to have your help answering phones. Come in, talk to Miss Julie, our volunteer coordinator, the queen of all things volunteering here at WMNF, and you know, set yourself up with a volunteer gig. We would love to have you and love to meet you. All right, Suzanne House from Tampa, thank you so much. She says, Shelley, your show is the best. Thanks for your dedication to justice. Well, thank you, Suzanne. With this pledge, you too are dedicated to justice. So, let's see who else we have. Judy Picarillo, I think, from Tampa, Florida, I believe, has made a generous $20 donation. Thank you so much, Judy. We appreciate you. And we have Kevin from Sarasota, Florida, has made a generous donation. He says, I don't know what this means, but he says, sick puppy from Sarasota. He swears he donates to more than one show, and that's why he's only donating $25. He doesn't want anyone to think he's a cheapskate. Those are the comments we got from Kevin in Sarasota. Kevin, we all love you. Every one of us whose show you donated to loves you and thanks you for your donation. We appreciate you, and we appreciate all our donations.
You know, we talked earlier about some of the swag and the new summer logo, if you will, for the T-shirt.
Yeah.
It's also on some other things. So if you made a $25 donation, you could get a 4-inch refrigerator magnet that has that independent radio, live, local on the Gulf of Mexico branding on it. Also, there's a 3-inch WMNF sticker. Those are $25 pledges. For $35, you can get a 5x5 static window cling or the new bumper sticker, which I'm walking out of here with one today.
Me too, for sure.
Independent
I am
radio,
definitely getting that bumper sticker.
Live, local on the Gulf of Mexico.
Now imagine yourself riding around town showing people that you are staying salty in the face of all this fascism. You are staying salty.
Get flipped off.
Yeah, you are going to have a bumper sticker that says independent radio, live, local on the Gulf of Mexico. We really hope that people will take that bumper sticker and display it with pride.
And you know what? I've never been cut off in traffic by somebody that has a WMNF bumper sticker on their car.
That's true. That's true. Never been flipped off, cut off. No.
Care about other people. people.
Right. Isn't it great, though, when you're driving around town and you see somebody with a WMNF bumper sticker to know, hey, I'm not alone. I was driving here this morning, in fact, and I saw somebody right in front of me on Boulevard with a WMNF bumper sticker and a bunch of bumper stickers for Democratic candidates over the years. And I was like, damn, dude, you're my people.
You must know them.
I must know them, but I didn't. Anyway, let me thank Ann Adams from Oldsmar, who donated $27.10. She's covering our credit card charges. We love that. Thank you so much. That means 100% of your donation goes to WMNF when you cover the credit card charges. So thank you. Ann says, thanks for this important show. I listen every week. From Ann in Oldsmar. Thank you, Ann in Oldsmar. Thank you. You're just as important. All right, Vincent Pelosi from Sarasota, Florida, says he made a very generous $108 donation.
Yes,
so he covered the credit card charges too. Thank you, Vincent. You are helping us meet Gary's pledge challenge. We really appreciate that. And he's getting that artist T-shirt that he's going to wear around Sarasota, we hope, that says on the Gulf of Mexico. We just love that.
And it's in both a man's cut and a lady's cut. So.
Oh, yeah, unisex or ladies cut. Yes, we have that. And Dale Brayman made a very generous pledge of $50. We appreciate you, Dale. Thank you so much. And let's see, what else do we have? Listen, we do some great shows here. I'm going to play you a couple minutes of one of our shows because I'm getting anxious that our phones are not lit up the way they really need to be.
We need you to call right now. 813-239-9663. 813-239-9663.
Yeah, I'm getting a little anxious about it. Jess, don't you feel a little anxious? Jessica feels a little anxious too. Gary's got that look in his eye like he's a little anxious.
Come on, you got to.
We did a show a while back with the resistance psychologists, Marlene Rubin and Danny Rosenkrantz, who told us how to handle our anxiety. So I'm going to play a couple minutes of that show. Let's go, Jess.
Well, in my opinion, in therapy, you meet people where they're at. And if they're anxious, you try to understand why they're anxious. And we do some grounding in reality. You know, I talk about grounding, what is actually changing for you, not necessarily because you're privileged, but because in reality, most of our lives have not changed substantially on the ground yet. I always frame anxiety to people as in the past or the future, but rarely in the present. So what stresses us out is either thinking about something that happened in the past that was difficult, or thinking about something that might happen in the future.
Yeah.
But usually right in this moment, we are okay. And that's the whole concept behind mindfulness and trying to find ways to stay in the present and notice that you are okay. And when you can do that kind of work, you can calm yourself down.
Okay, there you go, folks. There's some free advice for you right there. I've got a couple messages here I want to share from our listeners. Greg says, Trump anxiety remedy. Only get your political news from The Daily Show, Colbert, Kimmel, Seth Meyers, John Oliver, etc. Laughter is the best medicine. You know, one of the things I've heard from people since January 21st is I've just turned off the news. Like I used to be a news junkie, and now I avoid the news. I just stay away from it. Do you think that's a good thing? I mean, I personally can't stay away from the news. It's part of my job here, and generally I'm a news junkie, but there are people who have just backed away from it. Is that helpful?
I think that we have to be intentional with our news consumption. I think we need to be paying attention to what's happening, especially, you know, the loss of rights. And I think especially the less it impacts you in your day-to-day. I would argue that, again, for the communities I serve, it is genuinely impacting them on the day-to-day. I think that, you know, having healthier boundaries with media, it is so easy to get sucked in and find yourself doom scrolling, if you will.
Yeah, doom scrolling.
And just be overwhelmed. And I think one of the most helpful things I've heard lately is, that we don't want to be flooded constantly in a way that we have no energy, we are burnt out. That is part of the point of the strategy. And that's why every day when you do pay attention to the news, you are like, oh my gosh, more and more and more. That is part of the strategy of this administration. And so I think figuring out what is your mission, what are the particular causes that you want to stay abreast on, and being in community so you can share that load with people. I think a lot about, having a particular time of day that you check the news. Do not be checking the news all day. That includes social media, because that's where a lot of us get a lot of our news information. But I think, part of turning off is kind of, staying disconnected from what's happening. And I do think paying attention is part of being engaged in political action. And we do need to be active these days.
All right. That was my show on anxiety, high anxiety, and what, the sense of political anxiety and grief that so many of us have been feeling since January 20th, maybe since November. And those were our resistant psychologists, Marlene Rubin and Danny Rosenkrantz. And they came and they gave us some advice. I don't know about you, but I am feeling very anxious. And one of the ways that I deal with it, I think Danny mentioned, was by staying in community and staying with WMNF, being an actual member of WMNF, maybe a volunteer with WMNF, attending our events, that type of thing. Supporting this community so that we can support you is one of the most important things I think you can do to deal with that kind of anxiety and grief, right, Gary?
Yeah. You're not alone. There are lots of us that have these same feelings, and by coming together and participating in shows like this one, it enables you to deal with that. I can't turn it off, and I'm not going to turn it off, because I think it's really important to see exactly what's happening and to let people know what's happening. Those who have decided I'm not going to watch the news, I feel a responsibility to tell them, these rights are being taken away from everyone. So,
well, that's why we give you the news here at WMNF. We give it to you in bite-sized pieces so that you can, take that in and go further, do further research if it's something that moves you. But we do not want to turn away from what is happening. We want to make sure that you're informed. One of the personal pledge thank you gifts I have, and you've heard me say this before if you listen to this show for our other fund drives, is I offer this book, On Tyranny by Timothy Snyder. This is a graphic edition, so it's beautiful to look at, and it does the same kind of thing. It gives you these little bite-sized prescriptions of what you can do to fight fascism. And every page has beautiful illustrations on it, and it's a hardcover coffee table type book. And I offer this as my personal thank you for supporting MidPoint Wednesday. This is something you can only get if you support MidPoint Wednesday. You cannot get this on any of the other WMNF shows that you might pledge for. I hope that this is something that, if you don't already have this book, if you haven't already read On Tyranny by Timothy Snyder, that you are interested in taking this graphic edition for a $100 pledge. We only have a few of them, and they're just so beautifully done and so important. This is the advice for how to manage the kind of stress that we were talking about in that show. This is the advice for how to respond to what is happening in our country right now. Things like advice about do not obey in advance.
That's rule one,
Rule
right?
one. Rule number one. If you obey in advance, you tell them how far they can go.
Look at the law firms who did that.
Yes.
Who knuckled under and
we had a show with some lawyers talking about those law firm executive orders and how unconstitutional they were, which of course the courts have now found since that show. So that's kind of interesting that we were in the forefront of looking at that issue here on MidPoint. In fact, one of the things that we talked at length about on that show was professional ethics, and that is one of the prescriptions in Timothy Snyder's book on tyranny. Remember and follow professional ethics, and don't let people get away with not following them. That's, one of the prescriptions. Number 15, one of my favorites, contribute to good causes.
Yes.
Listen, there's never been a better cause than contributing to WMNF because we keep you engaged, we keep you informed, we keep you entertained, we keep you in community with your people. So if you're out there and you haven't had a chance to buy this book for yourself, or maybe you want to give it as a gift to somebody who's feeling particularly anxious I've given this book out as a gift to so many people, and it's always really appreciated. I think I gave it to you, Gary.
You did. I got one from a previous donation to this show, and I love it. It's on my coffee table, and I look at it daily now.
Yeah, just to keep up with what I need to be doing and feeling. All right, so for $100, give us a call at 813-239-9663 and take this book on tyranny. I promise you will love this. You will love this book, and I will be so grateful to give you this thank you gift. So let me thank, oh my God, it's the first anonymous family member.
Oh, wow.
The anonymous family
is
always
on vacation.
I know they are always so generous with the show, and yet today this is the first anonymous family member who's donating $100.
Yes.
And taking the women's T-shirt. Thank you so much. I hope we get more anonymi. We haven't heard from them so much today. So we have Kay Roberts from Bradenton, Florida, who's made a very generous pledge of $116. That's going toward your pledge challenge.
We're
almost there. Kay says, thank you for a great show and for all the effort it takes to make your show. I have learned so much from listening to you. I love WMNF. Well, we love you too, Kay Roberts from Bradenton, Florida. We love you too, and we appreciate these comments from you. Kay is taking the beach sand mat, which is a great thank you gift that we have available, and we are grateful for your pledge. We also have, I hope I say this right, Ramili from Clearwater, Florida, who's made a very generous $100 pledge and is taking that artist T-shirt. So thank you so much for Ramile from Clearwater. Thank you so much. We're so happy you are with us on MidPoint. David Lanigan from Tampa has made a very generous $100 pledge. He's taken the dry bag, that great dry bag, and he says, keep up the good work, everyone at WMNF. He wants to meet your match with his $100 pledge, and
Fantastic.
We thank you, David.
Thank you.
I think we got one or two more to meet your match, right? Oh, my goodness. Kelly McMillan from Tampa, Florida. And I know Kelly listens from Germany.
Wow.
I know that. Kelly is my friend and my neighbor, and she listens from Germany, where she's based right now. Oh, my goodness. Kelly made an extraordinarily generous Circle of Friends pledge of $325.20. That's $27.10 monthly.
Wonderful.
For her subscription to WMNF. She says, coming through loud and clear across the Atlantic. God bless you, Kelly. Thank you so much
Kelly.
for your donation. Thank you. Thank you. Dankeschön to Germany. We really appreciate appreciate you so much and appreciate your support for WMNF.
We talked about the fact that, we have a very high electric bill and all that, but this isn't just about keeping the lights on or the transmitter running. It's about protecting a vital community resource that becomes even more essential when other media outlets that we have depended on for so long are shutting down. Your support today helps to ensure that Tampa Bay continues to have truly independent media and a voice that answers only to the community and not to corporations or political interests. And where, we have had in the last few years a commitment to expanding the news coverage here at WMNF. And I think it's more important than ever, and I'm so proud that the station is doing that.
Yeah, I agree with you. And listen, if you want to protect public media for the long term, Gary, you are a super supporter, and you were instrumental in helping WMNF develop its endowment fund so that we can be here for the long term. But we don't touch that endowment fund for everyday operations. For that, we need you. We need your donations. We need your donations at every fund drive, or we need your donations as a Circle of Friends member. Because if you join our Circle of Friends, you help WMNF continue on a daily basis so that we can bring you alternative voices and diverse music and that community connection that we all really need. If you, like Kelly, give us a steady monthly support, you help us maintain our independence. You help us train new voices on the radio. One of the ways that the government is threatening public media is to threaten to take away our underwriting. We have an underwriting program that gives us a little bit of money, not a lot, but every little bit helps. And, we are probably going to lose that because of the government's position attacking public media. Also, our FCC license is potentially under threat, and if that happens, we have to hire lawyers, and we have to go to court, and we have to, be like those law firms that were challenging the executive orders against the law firms, and we need to be prepared for that. That's one of the reasons why, we have to keep an endowment and why we have to promote the Circle of Friends memberships so that we are ready for the attacks that seem to really be on the horizon against public media. So we are asking for you to help us, to keep us secure so that we can continue to be here for you and for our community. And we need you to give us a call at 813-239 or go online to WMNF.org. Take a look at that wonderful swag. Take that book on tyranny for a $100 pledge. It's just so inspiring to read that, to know that, when you're feeling that anxious about things that are happening, what people say, what can I do? What can I do? That book tells you what you can do. People need that.
They do. They do. It's invaluable. And really, folks, go to the website right now and take a look at these beautiful gifts that we have. The T-shirt is stunning, and I think they're going to be flying off the shelf in this fund drive. And this is your first opportunity t-shirt. To get one before they sell out. Yeah, this is a particularly nice T-shirt. Really, really nice. And it's double-sided. It's got, front and back artwork and, a really good message, Independent radio, live, local on the Gulf of Mexico. We are staying salty here at WMNF. I love wearing my WMNF T-shirts around as advertising for the station. Some people have never heard of the station. Yeah. It's a good way to introduce them to it. But others that know how cool this place is, immediately you've made a friend just by wearing that shirt out. You found a family member right there. Hey, let me thank Christos Sanos from Brandon, Florida. I hope I said your name right, Christos. But thank you so much. And he is taking that unisex artist T-shirt. So thank you, Christos from Brandon, Florida. We really appreciate you. He's made a very generous $108 pledge, so he covered our credit card costs. Oh, and Archie Gianella. All right, Archie, thank you. The best
good-hearted soul. Archie has made a very generous $50 pledge. We thank you from the bottom of my heart. Archie is like a guardian angel. Every time there's a hurricane, he reaches out. Do you need anything?
Oh.
Can I help you in any way? He's such a good friend, and he is such a longtime supporter of WMNF. He says, Shelley is a tremendous contributor to our local discourse. Well, thank you, Archie. Thank you so much for supporting us.
The world would be a better place if there were more Archies.
That's exactly right. That's it. And I'm so touched that he contributed to MidPoint because, he's a huge supporter of the Lulus.
Yeah.
So, we thank you, Archie.
So we mentioned a bunch of this beach swag. Let's just say that you're one of these people that has $250 to invest in community radio. You could get all of the beach swag in one fell swoop. You could get the backpack that is insulated and can carry your cold beverages. You can get the dry bag. You can get the sand mat, and also a bandana. All of which have these cool logos on them, and
you'd be ready for a day at the beach.
You're ready
totally
to speak truth to power wherever you go.
Yes, you are totally kitted out at the beach. Yeah, that would be great. Go for it, because I don't think we are close to our goal. I think we really need, some more donations. We only have 10 minutes before the end of the show.
And it's so important to start fund drives off on the right foot, and if we don't hit our goal, it's just not going to be right. We hammered it last time, and we got to do. This is it. So we need folks to get on the phone, 813-239-9663 or WMNF.org.
Yeah, we are the kickoff show. For some reason, they make us the lead off for the fund drive. The pressure, the pressure's on.
The best batter always hits lead off.
Is that true?
You're going to get on base. You're going to produce the runs. So, gotta go to Shelley in the leadoff spot.
Well, thank you for that. I don't know. I don't know if we're close to our goal this time. We really need you to call in before the end of the show and pump us up, because we are the kickoff, and we need to show the station that this show in particular has the support of the community. So call 813-239-9663 or go online to WMNF.org and help us out. Help us beat our goal. You don't want to lose MidPoint, I hope. I hope you don't want to lose MidPoint. We're here every week bringing you, news, public affairs, news nuggets. We're bringing you local experts. That's the thing. I could change this show. I could do maybe more Zoom interviews with people like all around the country or whatever. But I try to keep it local, because this is part of the mission of WMNF. I bring local experts on topics. We've had wonderful experts from like the USF School of Public Health talking to us about, the heat regulation laws that the legislature refused to pass to protect workers who work out in the heat. We've had experts talk about bird flu and the diseases you can get from mosquitoes in Florida and what to do to protect yourself. We've had local experts from Stetson Law Environmental Clinic come here and talk to us about the radioactive roads that Mosaic wants to put in this community. We have such a deep well of local expertise here in this Tampa Bay region, and I feel it's important for local people to hear from local people. These are your neighbors. These are, local scientists, local experts in these areas. And so, I'm sure I could change the show if I wanted to do more on Zoom, but I just feel like it's great to bring people into the studio and have them talk directly. And what other show lets you call in with your questions, for experts? If you have questions or comments about what you're hearing on my show, you can call in and we'll take your call. Yeah. Or you can send us an email or a text and you can make your comments known, and we will respond to them here. That's a unique thing in Tampa Bay radio, FM radio anyway. So that's the kind of thing that we want. That's what I mean when I say we are community. You help make this show, and I want to keep it for you like that. So let me give you the number again, 813-239-9663. The email is wmnf.org, and I'm asking you to please give us a call so we can at least make our goal this time and show the WMNF powers that be that MidPoint is a show that you value. Nancy Johnson from Lutz, thank you so much. She gave us a $100 pledge, and she's taking that new artist T-shirt that's beautiful, and she says, the most informative show on WMNF. Thanks so much, Shelley and Gary. Well, thank you, Nancy Johnson from Lutz, Florida. We really appreciate you.
It takes the whole community to do a fund drive like this, and we have community partners that help bring food to the volunteers. And we want to thank Chef Vinny Scully for picking up fresh roasted coffee from Blazing Bean Coffee Roasters, located at 22151 U.S. Highway 19 North in Clearwater. They can be found online at blazingbean.com, and they provided the Java to power us up this morning. Thank you both. And then answering the phones in the back, we want to give a big shout out and a thank you to Alita, Sherry, Chris, Lauren, and Jimmy. Thanks so much. And come on, folks, let's put them to work back there.
Yeah, we need to make our goal. I don't know if we're even close to our goal yet, but we certainly need your continuing support. I'm starting to get a little anxious about it, Yeah,
well.
So give us a call at 813-239-9663. I really would love for some of you to take this book on tyranny. Oh, my goodness, we are really behind on our goal. We need another almost $1,400 to meet our goal this show.
If there's someone out there who has a business and they want to offer a perk to their employees, you could buy the WMNF event passport for $1,000. It gives you 10 tickets to any event, and you could use this to give tickets to an employee of the month or something like that.
Great idea.
And Cam Dilley used to always encourage that. I thought it was always a great idea as a small business owner. Yeah. Or you can get a patio paver and say your message to live forever. Why you love WMNF.
Yeah, those are great ideas.
Come on, $1,000.
We are really behind this fund drive, and I hope that this is not an indication of what you think of MidPoint, because we're here for you every week, and we're working hard to bring you what you need to know about the Tampa Bay region and Florida generally. And I just really hope that we can gain your support. I have to ask again that you help us out and give a call to 813-239-9663, or you can give us a donation online at wmnf.org. But we have 2 minutes left or so in the show.
Got to make it happen. Let's go.
I want to thank Austin Craven from Tampa, who made a $100 donation, who says he loves the show. He always catches it live or listens in the archives. Oh, yay. He's taken the Timothy Snyder book.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Austin. I'm so glad that you're taking that book. And again, we have a few more copies of On Tyranny by Timothy Snyder available for you, and we want them out the door for a $100 pledge. Give us a call, 839-239-9663. What did I say? 813-239-9663, WMNF.org. Okay, Rose Timbrell from Lewisburg, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
All right, another worldwide WMNF listener who says, I am a Circle of Friends member, but I'm adding this because this is so important. I love it all, and I would like to have more news and information during the day. Well, Rose, we're doing our best to get you what you need to know, and we are so grateful to you for listening from Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. Rose is taking the artist t-shirt. Hey, listen, we are worldwide now. You can listen to, if you miss a show or you come in late and you like what you hear, but you missed the first part or you missed the last part because you had an appointment, you can always go back to the archives, WMNF.org/midpoint, and you can find an index there of all of our shows and listen on demand. Or we are a podcast. You could go to Spotify or Apple Music and go to WMNF Midpoint, and you can find all our shows as a podcast. So if you're working out at the gym, you're on the treadmill, you're taking a walk, you can listen to us that way too. We are always here for you. Hey, we gotta go. They're gonna kick us out of the studio, and we have not made our goal. If you haven't had a chance to pledge during the live show, please make a pledge when you get to a phone or when you get to your computer at 813-239-9663 or WMNF.org. Take some of our beautiful swag. Take this book on tyranny. But please support us here at Midpoint at WMNF. You can go to the drop-down menu online and check your donation is directed to MPW for Midpoint Wednesday, so that we get some credit for your donation if you're pledging because you like Midpoint. So thank you very much, and we are out of here.